All right, let's get right into it. We're going to unpack a piece of car tech that's pretty much everywhere now. But let's be honest, it still feels a little weird to a lot of us. We are talking about idle start-stop systems. You totally know the feeling, right? You pull up to a stoplight, your foot's on the brake, everything's normal, and then, boom, silence. The engine just cuts out, and for that split second, your heart kind of jumps and you're thinking, oh no, did my car just die in the middle of traffic? Well, you can relax because you are definitely not the only one who's had that little panic moment. The good news is it's totally supposed to do that. It's a feature, not a failure, and it's actually doing something pretty smart. So why in the world is your car designed to play dead at a red light? Well, it all boils down to fighting this huge, hidden source of waste that happens every single day when we drive. The official name for this whole thing is an idle start-stop system. And its mission is super simple, really. It shuts the engine off when you're not moving, and then, critically, it fires it back up the instant you're ready to go, all to save fuel and cut down on emissions. And here is the why. This is the massive problem it's built to solve. Just in the US, cars that are just sitting there idling waste over 6 billion gallons of fuel every single year. That's just an insane amount of gas and money literally just going up in smoke while we're waiting for the light to change. So the payoff is pretty clear. By killing that wasteful idling, these systems can slash your fuel use by anywhere from 5 to 10%, especially if you do a lot of city driving. That means less pollution, it means you're saving a bit of cash, and hey, you get a much quieter, more peaceful stop in traffic. It's a win-win-win. Okay, so how does your car pull this off so smoothly, thousands of times, without a hitch? Well, it's not just one magic part. It's more like a whole coordinated team. Let's think of it like a body. You've got muscles for the heavy lifting, nerves for sensing everything, and a brain calling all the shots. First up, you've got the muscles, the heavy-duty hardware. See, a normal car starter might fire up a few times a day. This system needs to do it dozens of times in a single trip. So these cars get a beefed-up, reinforced starter motor. And they have a special, more advanced battery, an AGM or EFB type, that's built to handle being drained and recharged constantly without dying an early death. Then you have the nerves. This is a whole web of sensors that are constantly talking, feeding info to the car's brain. They're asking all the important questions all the time. Are the wheels stopped? Is the driver's foot on the brake? What's the engine doing right now? And, super important, does the battery have enough charge to start us back up again? And where does all that chatter from the nerves go? It goes right here, to the brain of the operation, the Engine Control Unit, or ECU. This little computer is mission control. It listens to all the sensors, analyzes everything in a fraction of a second, and then it makes the final decision. Okay, conditions are perfect, shut it down. So let's walk through it. Picture this. You roll up to a stop. The sensors all report back to the ECU. Yep, we're stopped, brake is on, battery looks great. The ECU gives the green light, and poof, the engine goes silent. Then, the light changes, you lift your foot off the brake, and that signal instantly tells the ECU it's go time, which commands that heavy-duty starter to spring into action. And the engine is running again before your foot even hits the gas. Now, you might think this tech is a really new thing, right? Like something from the last 10 or 15 years, born out of our modern push for efficiency. But what's wild is that the core idea, it's been around for a long time. Seriously, check this out. We have to go all the way back to 1974. During the big oil crisis, Toyota actually put the first version of this on its Crown sedan to try and save gas. Then you had some early experiments from Fiat and Volkswagen in the 80s. But the real game changer was in the 2000s, when new, much stricter emissions rules in Europe, the Euro 5 standards, basically forced automakers to get serious about it, and that's when it went mainstream. So yeah, what started as this kind of niche feature is now a global standard. It's pretty clear this tech is here for the long haul. So let's talk about where it's all headed and, tackle some of the big questions people still have about it. Okay, let's just bust the two biggest myths right now. Myth number one, restarting your car burns a ton of fuel. The fact is, a warm restart, which is what this system does, uses a tiny, tiny amount of gas. We're talking about the same amount you'd burn in less than 1 second of idling. Myth number two, it's going to destroy your starter and engine. Nope. Remember the muscles? Those parts are specifically engineered. They're beefed up from the factory to handle this job. It's what they were born to do. And if you need any more proof that this isn't just some passing fad, just follow the money. The market for this tech is expected to explode from around $9 billion in 2025 to over $35 billion just a decade later. This is becoming a fundamental, non-negotiable part of how we build cars. And the future is where it gets really cool. These systems are getting way smarter. Think AI that can actually analyze traffic patterns to decide the perfect time to shut down. They're getting woven more tightly into hybrid systems and driver assist features. We're seeing new hardware, like integrated starter generators, that make the restart practically silent and instant. And new tech is coming that can keep your AC blasting even with the engine off.
Which kind of brings us to one last thing to think about. We started this journey with a feature that feels a little strange, a little noticeable. But as it gets smarter, faster, and smoother, are we heading for a future where that silent stop becomes so perfectly seamless that we don't even realize it's happening? Just an invisible, efficient partner in our daily drive. Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.